Basically what I did at the end there is a technique called momentum turbo barrel slide. If you basically MTS into a wall, it speeds you up quite a lot. That's really good at the end of lap 3 where you're heading to the finish line. So chapter 4 is where you start to see a lot of the other attacks come into play. So you basically have to crush Mark with Chain's machine before the end of the course. The only problem is that he actually doesn't slow down, and it's like impossible to catch him. So there's only 2 conditions that he'll slow down, and you need to fulfill one of them. The first one is by killing every other machine on the course, and then he'll slow down. Or you get to 5,000 meters left in the course, and then he'll slow down. So I'll be trying to kill every other machine.
Would this be a good time for donations? Yeah? Awesome. So, I just want to remind everybody of who we are and what we're doing. We are AusSpeedruns, a group doing speedrun events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for Game on Cancer, a charity which funds early career cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ausspeedruns.com, or you can go to the wonderful money jar over on the table if you are physically at the event. Let's get a move on with the secret cow level incentive for Diablo 2.
Yep, so I basically just killed Mark with Chain there. The problem is if you just leave Mark with Chain to the last 5,000 meters, the other AI will like sort of swarm around him. It's really hard to kill him once that happens. So yeah. Alright, so coming up is chapter 5. This is probably, for me, the second hardest chapter in the run. It's extremely precise. You basically have to escape a tunnel, but there's a lot of walls that closing in on you, so you got to be really careful with that. So I'll be utilizing a technique called momentum boosting, which is basically MT boosting. So for some reason in this game, if you're above your top speed and you hold A, it actually decreases your speed a lot faster. So you can negate that by letting go of A. And so by doing that during the boost cooldown, you can stack your boost to be a little bit faster. This is where all the resets happen as well. There's like little capsules you can pick up and they'll regain your energy. So, the level does say you have about 40 seconds, but actually I believe in this version you have 41 seconds. And I think it's the Japanese version of the game that it actually explodes on the 40. Basically, when it reaches 40, you get like a countdown, and then your machine will just slow down and you'll explode. Alright, this is another pretty gimmicky level. You have to finish this course, and if your machine falls below 800 kilometers per hour in speed, you basically explode. You get a countdown and yeah, it explodes. Basically, it's really essential to quick turn on this chapter. There's a lot of really sharp turns. There's a blind turn at the end of the course. not only that, there's also other cars in the way as well. There's a fun fact, you can actually kill the civilian cars to get more energy, but it's really risky because if you kill them, their machine just basically like pinballs over the place, and you could get hit by it and that would slow you down definitely. Another thing I forgot to add was that on the track you also have like these dash plates over here. If you hit them on the very edge, you can actually get a little bit of a more boost than you would if you just hit it in the center. But doing so is sort of, you have to be really careful because you could just end up missing it completely. And that would sort of waste a bit of time if you did that. So coming up I think is a dirt patch, so you have to speed over that, or else you'll basically slow down. This chapter's not too difficult, but resets can happen here. You could waste like about 2 minutes if you die right now. So here's the blind turn. A lot of people miss it on the first time playing, but that's it. And that should be it. Right. Okay, so this is definitely the hardest chapter of the run, which is a 5-lap race on not a very easy course as well. The reason it's difficult is, one, because of that, and the other reason is because of the AI as well. So in particular, 2 of them are really aggro, and they'll rubber band as well, so you have to be extremely fast. But then at the end of lap, so at the start of lap 4 and 5, the AI just becomes like even more aggro, like it's on steroids basically. You basically cannot survive if you are not faster than him. So one way you can kill him is like that, and that would get rid of one of the really aggro ones. Yeah, you just have to be very careful in this chapter. Those are lava pits. If you drive over them, you'll lose speed. So in second place is Blood Falcon. He's another one of the really aggro ones. You can get shift boost here, but it's very dangerous. So you can see that even with the advanced tech I'm doing, they're still right behind me, so... So the whole idea behind, I guess, why the MTS works, the drift, is because you're losing grip. And when you go over that ice patch, which is that blue thing near the start of the map, it reduces your grip. So it's a lot easier to execute an MTS like that. Usually you have to be at a very high speed to do one. Okay. So start of lap 4 and I'm quite ahead of Bloodhawk, so it should be okay. But I want to try to survive for the next 2 laps. Uh, 236 is alright. I think my PB is like a 29. You have to shift boost like all 5 laps to get a pretty good time. Oh, yeah. I think my disc does that. Okay, so chapter 8, you have to race against Deathborn. The pit's full of mines and there's lava everywhere as well. So one thing about the Deathborn in this chapter is that every other AI in this game will only use spin attacks, but this is the only guy who will do side attacks. And if you notice in chapter 4, those side attacks are like, they're really good at killing enemies, so that could easily take me out if he were to get a really good hit. So in last chapter and also this one, there's mines that you can hit and they would speed you up, but you have to hit them like directly in the center, or else you go flying off in a completely different direction. And some mines in this one can actually kill you if you hit them at a wrong angle, so you got to be really careful with that. So this guy's just spinning attacking, it's really risky. Yeah, you have to be careful with that part, because if you're boosting and you're going over a lava pit, your health will drain like a lot faster. So when you hit a mine in this game, basically where the mine was before, there'll be like a bit of lava or something. If you drive over that, you'll actually damage your ship, so you gotta be careful too. So in that part, you can actually get a ship boost. You just have to drive, depending on how fast you're going, drive towards the left of the track, and it can lift you off the track and back on instantly. So some of these turns I'm actually combining 2 techniques. So that's called a MTS into a quick turn, which is basically, as I said before, the MTS would put your machine at a sideways angle, and that would make it really optimal for turning the really sharp corners as well, where quick turning might not be enough. So there's one I would do here. There's one other one in the course. So it's definitely not over yet. There's still some mines I might accidentally hit, and that would probably screw up the whole level. But I think it's okay. You can actually give Deathborn up to like a 30-second head start, and you would still be able to win, but it's extremely difficult. Anyway, this is the final chapter, chapter 9. It's basically just a race against some god, and there's basically no railings on this track, so it's basically like a rainbow road. You can get shift boost, but it's actually very difficult because I think that the track is going uphill most of the time. Shift boost is a lot easier if the track is on like a decline. So I'll try to get a couple, see how it goes. So that's a side attack dive you can do there. Saves a little bit of time because you can gain a bit of speed in the air. Oh, okay. Yeah, so ship boosts are really risky because, yeah, you basically die instantly. The timer stops as soon as I finish the last lap. While I'm here, I just want to shout out a couple of people. Particularly our other GX runners in Australia. There's Holmy, who's like, I'm pretty sure top 3 in the world as well. There's Falco as well. Above Average Stepdad, he does more like AX modding, which is like the arcade version of the game. I think they've been able to get the arcade to run on the Dolphin, which is pretty cool. Outside of Australia, there's V Sam, who does a lot of YouTube stuff, so he delves into like the history of world records and all that stuff. CGN, who ran this game at AGDQ 2014, he basically inspired a lot of us to pick up the game as well. I'll just do a really safe run for this last one. CGN had the world record for very hard for a really long time, and it was actually broken, I think, maybe a few months ago by Artful Hobbies. It was like 3 seconds in-game time. So that's pretty incredible, so shout-outs to him as well. Basically everyone else on the Discord, F0 Nexus, who's been really helpful and been able to get me to this point as well. So thanks to everyone there as well. Everyone else at AusSpeedruns, thanks for doing this event. Well, it's been really good to do this. Hopefully we'll be able to get more people to play GX, especially in Australia. We don't have a lot of players at the moment here. There's like a bunch of different categories you can play. There's like time attack, there's story mode, which is I'm doing at the moment. Then you can also do snaking as well, which is, like I said at the start of the run, it's like a completely different thing. Alright, time's coming up pretty soon. And now. Awesome, so yeah, that's story mode. I'm very hard. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Hope you guys continue to keep donating to the really good cause. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right, big thanks to Baphy there for that awesome run. Coming up next, we have Diablo 2 Resurrected with Sylvanius and BK Silver. But that is the end of my time here hosting at TGX. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting this great event, and I hope to see you at the next one.
You ever have that feeling where you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming? Feeling dreaming?
All right, how are we doing on Speedruns? My name is Arapthos. I will be your host for the last stretch of this marathon here. Just got a couple of donations to read out first. We have $15 from Project Manatees with no comment. We have $20 from Sullen, who says GL, BK, and Sylv. And we also have $10 from Natty WW, who has no comment. We are just getting set up for Diablo 2 Resurrected. Shouldn't be too much longer. All right, are you ready for some Diablo 2 Resurrected? Well, we've got Slovenius and BK Silver ready to get us going, so